That
What
one's
am I?
rolling.
You're rolling, you're
That's
recording now.
rolling, but this isn't yet.
And then this one's gonna see this thing. Feel like you're ready to go?
I've just acknowledged we're in Martin Place,
Yep.
Sydney.
But before you do that, wait till he says ready to go. 'Cause that's it. And I'm gonna step back over.
Georgie is sick, am I?
What am I ready to go?
Whenever you're ready, and look at the camera that way.
I'd like to say good morning to all. I'd like to welcome you into Sydney in Martin Place. I would like to say what am I, Midiga Gudam Barak. This is Durak Lands. Hello friends, it's good to see you. The land, I'd like to acknowledge my elders past and present. And the thing is that we as elders, we go and teach how to break down barriers and build bridges. We're trying to educate people in this country because the people have forgotten that we are the First Nation people of this sacred land. And I'd just like to say that the land we're upon today belongs to the Gadigal tribe of the Durak Nation, the Whale people. This is where my great-grandmother comes from and my grandfather. And I'd just like to say that our mob was down near one of the pylon, used to live around the pylon before they built the harbour bridge back in the 1800s, way before they built that bridge, where they transferred a lot of the people out into La Perouse. But the thing is that out here in Sydney, when I look at these buildings and the way it is today, remember over 228 years ago, this was all bushland, this was all scrub, where my people hunted for food. And the thing was that here in Sydney, that this is, because the buildings are here today, it'll always be Durak land, always have and always will be. And the thing is that people got to acknowledge that, and we as Aboriginal people, we've been here for a long, long time. And the thing is that a lot of people say this is urination, but there's no such thing as urination, because when Governor Phillip sailed through Sydney Heads, he said he saw my people up on the foreshore, and he waved, and they waved back. And he said they're a friendly lot, and they said they're a friendly lot, let's go ashore and talk to them. So they went ashore, and they was talking to these Aboriginal people. And they asked them, they said, who are you? Of course, the Gadigal people didn't know what they were saying, but they had an idea what they was trying to ask. And they pointed to themselves and they said, Eora. Eora means we are the people of this land, and that's what it means, Eora. And the thing is that where we are today, this is coastal Durak, and where I live today is in the Mount Druitt area, which is the Wianamadigal tribal area. And the thing is that that's inland Durak. So when we look at the Durak Nation, right through Sydney, we have over 35 tribes. And the thing is, it's always nice to learn about country, because a lot of people come to this country not just from overseas, but from country within the country, like different nations. Because throughout this country we have well over 500 dialects of Aboriginal language. In New South Wales we have well over 136. So this must have been a multicultural country before settlers came here in 1788. By saying this, we are all Australians, and we as Aboriginal elders, we don't exclude people from the circle, because we love people to come to that circle and share their values and stories. When we look back, when you look at our people, we're the oldest living culture in the world, with the oldest DNA, oldest song, oldest dance, and oldest stories. Now, what I learnt from my old people when I was a kid, growing up in the eastern shores of Botany Bay, a place called La Perouse, which I classify as my university campus, where my elders taught me and taught me well, where they talked about how they used, how they did counselling and psychology, and these people knew all about that sort of thing, and our people are the greatest conservationists in the world also, so, and the greatest scientists. So people, if people could tap into Aboriginal culture and learn a little bit more about the Darug Nation, then they're moving forward, because we can't live in a one-way street all our lives. We've got to live in a two-way street, so we can get a little bit more understanding and a little bit more balance. So the thing is, all the knowledge and wisdom that I carry, I am still learning about Aboriginal culture. I am still learning. And the thing is that coming into that circle and sharing our values and stories, it's a big thing, because we will never have knowledge if we don't do this. And once we start learning from each other, then we're heading in the right direction towards reconciliation. And I always remember my Auntie Susie, before she passed on, she always used to use that saying that the music would always sound better if we used both the black and white keys. And I think it's a beautiful saying. And one of the main things I do today, I support Muslim communities. And the reason why I say this is that the media has stereotyped these people in a way that people starting to believe in the media. An Aboriginal person does something wrong in the community, we're all bad people. So it's time for us to come to that circle, share our values and stories. And these people that's making up these stories, like the media telling the people what they think of Muslim people, these are the sort of people that need to go back and read their history and find out what really happened on this sacred country, what really happened. Go back and read your history, and then you'll have a change of thinking about what you've been talking about, because it's very important. So it's a little bit breezy down here in Sydney today, but it's a beautiful day, and I like coming in here because it's part of my country, a part of me. So it's just love coming in, going into the Darling Harbour and going down to the rocks, going over into the botanical gardens and giving talks and going all over the place. And I love that, you know. I love what I do, and I do what I love. And the thing is that it's taken me a long, long time to get to this level I'm at today, because I didn't learn yesterday and became the expert overnight, and then out there today telling people what to do. It's taken me years and years to get to this level, so it's not something that I was taught yesterday. So, and the things I was taught, not just sharing that with my people, but all the values and stories that I was taught, I'm sharing this with the white Australians and other people that come into this country, because people need to be educated, because once they come into this country, then they become part of our heritage and culture. And the thing is that teaching is one of the main things in our lives, and understanding what's required. So I just like to, and the thing is also too is myself going out in Western Sydney to live 31 years ago and 9 months. Going out there to live in the Wiyanamadigal tribal area, where I share values and stories with the diverse of Aboriginal people, living between Blacktown and Penrith, and I believe we have well over 85 different dialects. But here I am out in Western Sydney, sharing the saltwater culture with the running water and the muddy water people. So we're just doing all these cross cultures, and you know, and it wouldn't hurt for us to come in with the white Australians and learn about their culture too, because we're all one mob, because it's very important for all to learn culture. And the thing is that thing, what I do today, it's been a long time since I practiced that type of thing, you know, like the bush medicines and a little bit of bush tucker here and there, and but I don't touch that stuff much anymore, but I miss all that too, you know, but one of the main things is education. So, so I'd just like to,
That was really good. That was really good. I was so proud of you.
no, that's not bullshit.
No, I want. That was
Is
really
that turned
good.
off?
No, it's on. I'm listening. It's still recording.
Is it?
It's great. So what we're going to do is just say the first part again, and you can, if you feel like if you want to walk this time, don't have to say all.
I've got to do it all over. Do it
just
again?
the first bit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just
Okay.
the first bit. Just because I know you were still getting used to this, but if you feel like you want to move around a bit this time, and you don't, just talk about sort of the first 5 minutes.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Yep.
But what you'll be doing, you'll be just
We'll be taking bits.
bits out and
Yep.
putting. Yeah.
That's why we do it again. Just the first bit, so that because you started after about 5 minutes, you started to slow down and be easier to catch. So you want some water?
Oh,
Look at her.
look at that.
Gotta look after the talent. Okay.
So yeah, I think just the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, I
again.
needed that water, that
You did,
magic
eh?
water.
Have a bit more, eh?
You made this, eh?
She made that water
Which
herself.
tap, which tap did you get this
Okay,
out
got
of?
it. She squeezed it out of those flowers there.
Did she? Oh. Thanks, darling, for that.
Yep. So yeah, just the first. When you were talking about country and this country and the city, just that bit again.
Okay,
You
then.
started to slow down after that, and that was when it was really interesting.
Okay,
All
then.
right.
Yeah.
So whenever you're ready, I'll just move away. And like I said, feel free because you can move anywhere in this camera, and it still sees you.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. I'd like to say good morning to all. Here we are in Martin Place, Sydney, and I would like to say,
Sorry, Uncle, introduce yourself first.
oh yeah,
Start again.
I'd like to say good morning to all, and welcome to Martin Place. I'm one of the Aboriginal elders of Western Sydney, and my name is Uncle Greg, known as Uncle, Greg Sims is known as Uncle Greg. And I would like to say, Tiari Mara, Daraka Pemal, Warami, Mitiga Goram Barak. This is Darak Lands. Hello friends, it's good to see you. And it's an honour to come into Sydney because this is my great-grandmother's country. We are the Gadigal people of this nation. We are the coastal Darak people, and our mob comes from down around where the Sydney Harbour Bridge is built. And the thing is that it was all Gadigal all the way through the botanical gardens, but our little group was down near the rocks area. So it's always honoured, as I said, it's always honoured to come into Sydney to give talks because I'm trying to educate people. And one of the main things in Aboriginal culture, people got to remember that our culture is their culture too. It's not something that's left aside, and people want to use their own thing because it's very important. Culture is very important to all because we've been here for over 60,000 years, our people. You know, our people are the First Nation people of this sacred land. And when we look at Aboriginal people, like we have well over 500 dialects in this country. In New South Wales, we have well over 136. So this must have been a multicultural country before settlers came here in 1788 and the ones that followed. By saying this, we are all Australians. And one of the main things is too that when we look at Aboriginal people, we're the oldest living culture in the world, with the oldest DNA, oldest song and oldest dance. Now, and oldest stories. And the thing is that our people were the greatest counsellors, psychologists and conservationists in the world, and also the greatest scientists. So we, as Aboriginal people, we're not, we are somebody that have that knowledge to share with people that would like to know who they are. See, when we see a lot of white people coming through here in this area, then the thing is that a lot of these white people could have Aboriginal blood. You know, if they're descendants from their mob, you know, if they're descendants from the early settlers, then they're more likely to have Aboriginal blood because of if they'd have brought out 1,000 convicts, and out of that 1,000 convicts there's only 50 women, how could 950 men share 50 women? So therefore they would have to got in with Aboriginal women. So people need to go back and read their history, and a lot of them would find that they do have Aboriginal blood. And the thing is, I'm looking at all these buildings here today, but just remember this, no matter what buildings are on this sacred land, it will always be Darug land, always have and always will be. And you can just imagine, just over 228 years ago, before the colonisation came into this, onto this land, that this was all bushland, all scrub, all the way through where my people hunted round here for kangaroo and other food sources. So it wasn't something that, it wasn't this, so the buildings weren't here all the time. We know that as Aboriginal people were living on this sacred land over 228 years ago. So it's always good to come back here and do a welcome and share, like to share stories, because our stories belong to all. So I will be probably come back again one day and give a little bit of a talk about Aboriginal culture, because it's important, and it's taken me years and years to get to this level, because I didn't learn yesterday and became the expert overnight and then telling people what to do today, because it's taken me years and years to get to this level. So because I've learned so much over 60 years of culture, I am still learning about a lot of things. And the things we do today when in schools, you know, schools are, they're all one-way street, you know, everything's happening with politicians, it's one-way street. With all these so-called do-gooders, it's always one-way street. It's not listening to the people anymore or sharing values. That's very important. You know, us as Aboriginal people, give us a chance to tell the story so the white person can relate to those stories and maybe tell a story, same story to their students. Because it's one-way street is not very good. It's been around a long time, and we need to change the system, go back to basics, and maybe one day we might have an Aboriginal school where we could teach Aboriginal students and have more culture in that school, and then later on invite the non-Aboriginal people into the school to learn about Aboriginal culture. I reckon it'd be a great thing, because a friend of mine was talking about it the other day, but I don't know how long people have been talking about this, because I reckon it'd be a great idea. And you know, you got these people out there telling, you know, talking about things, and the thing is, if you don't carry values, you know, you're not up to it. Because I learned from Mother Earth all the things I do today, and the stories I tell. I didn't learn from books where people go out and they read books, because it's learning from Mother Earth and a very long process in doing so. It's a better way of learning instead of flicking pages over and learning that way, because we could always go and do all these different things, because I'm an educator. I am an educator in Aboriginal culture. I work with I work with job agency with disabilities, ability options I work for, where we're looking after people with disabilities and trying to find the right job for them. And the thing is that I'm one of the Aboriginal elders on campus in the up in Western Sydney University. I'm one of 19 elders, and I'm the youngest out of the lot at the age of 67. So so I didn't. I earned that respect to be at that level, at this level today, and going into the university and being part of the elders group, because